All right, are you ready?
Yeah? This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. Bold, bright and everlasting. You can find us at 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Carlisle Studios. My name is Hal Hunter and I'm lucky enough to be here again with my wife, co-worker and tattoo artist.
Bella Hunter.
Beautiful. We're here at Carlisle Tattoo Co. in St Kilda, one of our shops, which is where Bella and I both work most days of the week. So, yeah, I'm excited to be back in Melbourne. How about you?
I have been in Melbourne.
You haven't left?
No, I have not.
You didn't get invited on the trip to Sydney, did you?
You actually specifically told me that I wasn't allowed to come. You did. And that's not a bad thing. I respect that. Setting boundaries.
No, yeah, but it was because then we have to get someone to look after the dogs.
Yes, of course, because that's so difficult.
Well, it's not difficult for us. It's more difficult for my parents who have to look after them.
They love it.
Well, your parents aren't putting their hands up, are they?
No, that's because one of our dogs has brutally attacked my parents' dog. Twice?
No, I'm saying it's fair enough, but I'm saying
God, yeah.
There's a reason why you didn't get invited.
Yes. Okay, I'll take it.
All right, let's kick off the weekly recap. Do you want to start or me?
You can go first. Yours was a bit more exciting than mine.
Yeah, it was. Well, since we recorded the last episode here in Melbourne.
You've done a lot.
Yeah, me, Cody Hill, Luke Etho and Charles Cooper. We went to Sydney for a few days end of last week and over the weekend. We tattooed at Hunter and Fox in Sydney, which was really good. Stevie and Jamie always look after us when we go up there. We stayed in Bondi, which for us down in Melbourne, the beaches up in Sydney are obviously a lot nicer. So,
you stayed in Bondi because Hal wanted to be able to go surfing before work each morning. So he was like, sick, that'll be great.
Yeah, I didn't end up didn't surf each day, but...
You went to the Bondi baths and... Is that what they're called?
I think it's called Bondi Icebergs.
Yeah, same shit.
We'll go on there every morning. It's a different lifestyle up there. We're getting up at 6 a.m, which is early.
Well, we get up at what, 6:30 or 7 every morning? It's not that different.
No, but it was like...
6:30?
I was getting up at 6 a.m. in Sydney, looking out the window and we could see the beach and stuff, and there'd be like 100 people at the beach.
Yeah.
No joke. So better weather, obviously, so everyone gets up a bit earlier. But yeah, spent the end of the week and the weekend up there tattooing. Cody got tattooed a few times. I was lucky enough to have Stevie on the podcast, which hopefully everyone's listened to. That was something a little bit different for me. Like,
I loved that episode.
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. Little bit nervous doing it because it was more like, I guess...
It was more like an interview sort of a
style
setup, I guess.
Whereas I don't think these ones that we do and have people on here are so much... I think it's more discussion, whereas that was... Yeah, I think went down the interview path a little bit more because just personally, I was actually really interested into hearing the background of his tattooing career and the straight edge and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, really stoked that we got to do that. And then, yeah, inevitably the end of the trips and stuff, you're always tired because you're working heaps and you're getting up early and that. So, didn't really do much the few days when I got back. How was your week?
My week was great, but also average at the same time. It started off, so when you went to Sydney, I messaged one of my good friends, Courtney, on Instagram. She's Pokio Drift, because she is moving to Melbourne. And I messaged her and said, hey, while Hal's gone, why don't you come and stay with me? And you can just guest spot up here for a couple of days. And she jumped at the opportunity. And so that was really fun. So I pretty much had a new upgraded model of Hal.
I heard from some people that it was like when you get a new best friend in high school.
Yeah, so all the boys were making fun of me saying like, oh my God, Bella's like a teenage girl in high school. What are you guys doing? Braiding your hair? None of that stuff. They're so mean to me. But I guess I am the only girl in a shop full of guys who are really close friends.
Well, at this shop, Emmy is at the other
Emmy's
shop.
at the other shop, so I don't get to see her that much. So I think it was just interesting for them to see me actually talk to another female that isn't one of their partners or a customer. So that was great. She was here for the week. And then I got hit with COVID. So
Damn.
I had a bit of a shit one.
Weak immune system, eh?
Oh, shut up. So
Well, I haven't had it.
this is my second time having it. This time was way better than the first time, but it was still terrible. And I'm only just starting to feel half normal today. So
Was your first day back, isn't it?
this is my first day back.
Yep.
Yep. So go easy on me. My brain's still a bit fried. Not that you would know that that's like Mr. Amazing immune system.
It's not amazing. I just refuse to believe that I've got it. I definitely
hate
probably did get it, but
I hate you. So yeah, not feeling the best, but it wasn't the worst week of all.
that's good.
It is.
Because usually when I go away, you struggle.
I'm bad at being alone. This makes me sound really needy. We shouldn't have said
you
that.
are. So
I'm not that bad.
I don't know about that, Bella.
It's not that I need like you to constantly talk to me or do something. I just like knowing that someone's there.
Okay. I think you get FOMO big time.
I do.
Yeah, like massively.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't.
No, you don't.
No.
I do.
I know.
It's okay. Opposites attract, sweetheart.
Yeah.
We'll just keep saying that.
So that's your week?
Pretty much that's all I can think of
Yep.
that is relevant.
Have you got much coming up this week? We're already halfway.
Well,
We're pretty much at the end of the week
today's
anyway.
what? Today's Thursday.
Thursday.
So I feel like I'm at the end of the week. Yeah, I've got a couple of cool tats coming up. I got a day rate this week as well. That's all I've got.
Nice. Yeah, I don't even know what I've got on.
Oh, and you say I need to be bred a bit.
I know. All right, moving on. We've got some of you might have seen, but Bella and I have. It's nothing crazy special, so don't be too excited. But we've put together a little website, carlislestudios.com.au. Little bit of info about us and stuff on there, but probably most importantly, like if anyone's looking to buy prints or original paintings, that's where they'll be listed. So currently, there's a few different prints, some painted by me, some painted by Bella. Pretty straightforward, just online e-commerce website to go on there and purchase those, and we'll get them sent out promptly. When we do put originals up there for sale, we'll probably post about them on our socials and say they're available there. But yeah, you can just access that either just through the web internet, or you can go into our Instagram bios, and there's a little link tree, and it's got a link to the podcast, a link to the website.
A link to your TikTok. Mine wouldn't link.
Yeah, social media.
Although my TikTok's a bit crap compared
some
to
other
yours.
media stuff we've done with Dickies in the past and stuff. So yeah, a bunch of stuff on there. So that website again is carlislestudios.com.au.
That's correct.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, go and have a look if you're looking to get some paintings or just want to have a look at what we've been doing or anything. All right. So I realized the other week we've done several episodes where we haven't actually answered any questions that people have asked us.
It's very bad.
So I went back through the ones that people originally sent us. Mm-hmm. So I've got one here from, forgive me if I'm not reading this correctly.
Do people want us to say their names? I don't know if they want them to.
Maybe I won't then. All right, I'll just read the question.
Yeah. Because some that I've had were a little bit like weird, and I don't know if they would want their name put to it. I think they were like doing it anonymously.
Okay.
Yeah. None of these ones today are weird, but you know.
Have you ever tattooed something you didn't like or thought would look bad?
You go first. Be honest.
Well, I think it's an interesting question. It's not like a straightforward yes/no situation. Like, obviously, I've tattooed things that I wouldn't get myself personally.
I definitely agree with that.
Or I've definitely tattooed things that I thought might look better in a different placement or a different size or potentially a different style. But ultimately, I'm not getting the tattoo. I'm the one doing it. So
yeah.
when we go about these things with customers, and I always think like, especially with tattooing these days, because social media is so prevalent, there's this perception from some tattooers, but mainly from customers, I would think, is that like you only do like your own stuff.
Yeah, which is not the case.
So I always think like, well, the way I look at tattooing is, you know, like it's a service, and whatever you want, as long as I can do it good enough.
Yeah, do it within that realm of the...
Then that's what I'll do for you. And ideally, or hopefully...
Sorry, I love the way you said that. That's what I'll do for you.
Well,
so
yeah.
awkward.
And ideally or hopefully you get your career to a point where people come to you for a specific thing, and
you can have a little bit more like creative freedom and do like your own style or like spin on it.
100%. But even then, there's always a compromise, you know, like very, very rarely do I, as the artist or the tattooer, get 100% freedom in what I'm doing, like size, placement.
But then even if you do
stuff.
get 100% freedom, I think those ones are the trickiest, because you're always a little bit hesitant to be like, I want to do this exactly how I've drawn it here, and I want to do this, this and this, because you're hesitating, thinking that they're not going to like it and they're going to be a bit like too shy or scared to say no.
Well, I definitely do prefer when they give me some direction.
I prefer it 100%, because I'm like, well, it's on you. You have to live with it.
Yeah.
So just tell me what you want and we'll make that happen to as best ability as I can.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, sort of back to the question, it's like, what even was the question? Have you tattooed something you didn't like or thought would look bad? It's such a hard one, because it's like, you know, there are styles that I don't necessarily like myself, and
I'm just going to answer 100% yes. I've absolutely tattooed something that I did not like or I absolutely thought it looked bad, but
But you can still do it good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not to say that the tattoo was done poorly or like the lines were blown out or anything like that. That's not the case. It's that I don't like that, for example, style, or I wouldn't have shaded it that way, or I wouldn't have put it on that position on the body. I mean, yes, there are definitely designs that I don't want to have on my body, or, for example, if Hal had them, I would be like, oh, I don't really like that, but it's their choice. So it's more a design thing. Like, I'm definitely not going to be able to be like, oh yeah, cool, I can do this like amazing fine line thing on you, because that's just not a style that I'm good at.
Well, you do fine line. You do good fine line.
I don't think I've done anything smaller than like a 5-liner. So if we're going to call that fine line.
Well, to answer the question bluntly, it's like, yes, you know, you would always maybe rather the tattoo be in a different placement, or
it match your style more.
Yeah, exactly. But I always sometimes think, you know, I've gone into tattoos sometimes where people have asked me to do things that I've sort of thought, oh,
I wouldn't do that necessarily.
I definitely wouldn't have thought that was going to be a good idea.
Sometimes it ends up looking great.
Then that's it. Some of them end up being my favorite tattoos because they've made me think about it differently, or they've, you know, pushed me.
Okay, so I'm going to give an example.
Out of my comfort zone.
So I actually don't know if this was your idea or the customer's idea, but there's been one that you did. It was like a purple Prisoner of Love or something. Is that right?
That was my idea to colour it.
Yeah, okay. So I actually loved that. But when I saw it, I was like, fuck, that shit is whack. But in a good way. But I was like, I would have never, ever, ever used purple.
Well, I can't claim any sort of like ownership over that, because I've definitely seen people use purple and stuff.
No, but this is a very broad example.
Yeah, that was one where it's like I actually got the freedom and I was like, oh, well, I've seen this done before, so I think I'm going to try and do it. I'm glad they liked it in the end. But yeah, sometimes, like, you know, for me, for example, or both of us, 99% of the tattoos we do are done with a single line weight. So that means all the lines in the tattoo are done with the same outlining needle, so they're all the same size.
Mm-hmm. And Hal and I use the exact same setup as well. Yeah. We use the same brand and size of needles. So generally our tattoos will look pretty similar.
Yeah. But sometimes, and probably me more often than you, I get asked to do stuff where it's like they want way more detail in it or something like that. So I'm forced to use 2 different line weights in the one tattoo, which I would say like at its core is not necessarily the style that you see me doing.
No.
Online.
If you have 2 lining needles set up,
Yeah.
I know that it's not your idea.
Yeah, and
But that's nothing
I wouldn't
bad.
necessarily like, I wouldn't suggest that to someone, but actually some of those tattoos have been my favorite tattoos I've done. Or not necessarily like the ones that I'm like, that's this exact style I would love to be doing.
No,
I
but
think
it's
they're
nice
like,
because it's a bit different.
they're the ones that I'm like, I actually really like what that looks like. And
I think they help you grow and develop a little bit more.
Yeah, it pushes you to sort of expand your
You might not
your
love
knowledge
them,
base and
you
stuff.
might not hate them, but it does make you think about what you're doing every single day a little bit differently.
Yeah. But yeah, to answer the question, which I think we've answered several times now, yes, you always end up tattooing stuff that isn't like 100% what you would love to do. But I always say this to people is like, if you want to do as the artist 100% of whatever you want to do, then go do a painting
Yeah.
and then try and sell it. But
Yeah.
if someone's coming to you and they're giving you money to give them a tattoo that they're going to have forever,
That's where I find it difficult. It's a tattoo that's on them forever. You're hoping that they're not going to go get it lasered off. Who knows? They might. Doesn't matter. It might not be because of the tattoo. It might be because they've had life changes
we're
or
not
whatever.
talking about getting our tats. Like, you couldn't laser a tattoo.
Yes,
I've done
but
it.
if someone is coming to you and asking for you to put a tattoo on them permanently, I'm more so listening to what you want rather than trying to make it look like a sick photo for Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. I don't know. Oh, you actually have a little bit of practice with this, Bella, and I have as well.
I'll read the next one.
All right.
Because I don't know what it is, and now I'm like, shit. What do I?
Is that your
practice with?
FOMO coming through?
No, I just want to be prepared. Shut up. What are your thoughts on practice skins? I did read this one. Do you want me to go first?
You go. You said you were ready. I sent these to you
I
last
said I just
night.
wanted to read the question. Anyway, okay. My thoughts on practice skins, I've only ever used it once. And I did it when I was starting my apprenticeship.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it. I think like Bobby had some old ones in like the back of the shop somewhere. And I had like no direction whatsoever. I hadn't even tattooed anyone yet. And Hal and Bobby we were at the shop late one night, I think, and Hal and Bobby were just tattooing each other. And they were like, oh yeah, give it a go. Just play around, see how you go. So I like started doing it, and my issue is it is very, very different to tattooing skin.
Yep.
So some people really like it. Some people are amazing at it. But for me personally, I didn't enjoy it. The second that like you put the needle in, you can't really like tell how deep and like how, when you don't know anything about like tattooing, like how it's sort of hitting that so-called fake skin. And also you can't see anything because ink is just spluttering everywhere. Mm-hmm. And when you go to like wipe it off, you then like wipe off all of your stencil because it's like you haven't like applied it the best way properly.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't like it. I would just prefer to practice on myself or a friend starting out.
I would agree with that. But I think there are some good elements if you want to try and find them. So I think firstly, like I couldn't see any reason why as a professional tattooer who can tattoo that you would ever use them again.
Yeah.
But definitely, you know, when you're learning to tattoo or you want to start tattooing and you're doing an apprenticeship and stuff like,
And you're just trying to get comfortable with like the machines.
if you
and
don't
stuff.
have access to customers and stuff like that, then it's probably better than nothing, I would say. But well, I'll say the positives are it's better than nothing. So it's definitely better to use that than to not be practicing at all.
I would
Then-
prefer to practice on like an orange or a
Nah,
banana.
but it's all the same shit to me. Like anything that's not real skin is a practice skin for me. Fruit, shit like that.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't prefer to use anything fake. I would just prefer human skin.
because the downsides are you get no feedback at all from. So when you tattoo someone's skin as like a live human, well, ideally they'd be alive.
You'd hope so.
You know, like you can tell if it's hurting them. You can tell if it's, you know, not hurting them.
You can tell if they're in an uncomfortable position and might need to like adjust.
all that sort of stuff. So you get no feedback from obviously like a fake tattoo thing. so you can't tell how deep it's going, which is probably the main thing for me. And also because they're not like living, it doesn't heal. So you can. I've seen people be able to make perfect looking designs on fake skins with tattoo machines.
Yes.
But then they can't tattoo fucking at all on normal skin because it's a completely different thing.
Yes.
And when they come back healed, it's like
you can see
the actual application
the
technique's
quality
not
of
there.
it and all of that.
And I found that is the same with, pig skin and fruit and stuff like that. Is I think the main thing you get out of it is you get the feeling of what it's like to hold a machine, to pull a line, all that sort of stuff. But it's nowhere near as good as even just doing a tattoo on your own leg.
I think in my mind, and this could sound a little bit like closed-minded, I understand that. But for me, I think using fake skin, the only benefit to me would be that it gives you confidence in like how to hold your machine and how to like use like the wrist movement and all of that stuff. That's
pretty much it in my mind.
Yeah, but you can get that from tattooing your own thigh just from sitting here like this.
Yeah, but some people
don't want to tattoo themselves.
Yeah, or they might already have fully tattooed thighs.
Yeah.
So, I would say like my thoughts are better than nothing, but there's definitely better options, and I'd never enjoyed doing it, mainly because the whole process is very difficult.
Yes.
But
it takes way longer as well than actually doing it on as Hal calls them, living people.
Oh, well, I've not tattooed a dead person yet. So
never say never. That's
all right, next question. If you weren't doing traditional, what style would you consider? Oh, sorry, I've read that wrong. If you weren't doing traditional, what style of tattoos would you consider?
You go first.
Mine would be definitely Japanese. I think the application techniques of traditional apply to Japanese quite similarly.
Yeah.
I think, the more I sort of progress in tattooing and I think, this type of tattooing that I sort of am attracted to, even within traditional, is like heavy coverage. And I guess like if you
look a full Japanese bodysuit.
Well,
they look amazing.
But even like, I'm just talking like full coverage. So even if you got a full traditional bodysuit, like heavily shaded, bold, like not that I don't have any really background or anything on my body, but I think, making it look so that from a few meters away, it looks like your whole body's tattooed.
Yeah.
So Japanese definitely gets that, like larger scale work than sort of palm size traditional. But yeah, that's sort of like where I would go to, like big, bold, sort of traditional Japanese, I would say, or like there's some of my favorite tattooers who do traditional, also sort of like playing in the Japanese realm as well.
Yeah.
And
you do see a lot of crossover between traditional tattooing and Japanese.
Yep. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so much from like younger tattooers, but maybe the older generation, a little bit above me.
Yeah, that were probably they've probably been tattooing for like 20 years.
I would say 12 plus years would be the realm where it's like, because I think when they came up, it's like it wasn't like, oh, you just do traditional. It's like
you learn
all the different styles, and Japanese was very popular. Like when I started getting tattooed, Japanese was like the main style.
Yeah. You've got a bit of Japanese.
Yeah, I do. Well, I had the plan to do a full leg of Japanese, but I got the whole back of my calf done and ended up getting some other shit.
And bitched out.
Yeah.
You did.
I already had other tattoos on my leg, so it was like...
It was a bit tricky.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say Japanese for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would probably go for like single needle style maybe, because it is... So
like when you say single needle, do you mean like what people would describe as fine line, or like single needle like what Teggy does, or like
I would say like single needle like what Teggy does.
Or someone. Yep. So like traditional single needle.
Yes.
Yep. No, I like that. I can see you doing that.
I'm way too scared to try because I am the most impatient person in the world. And I think you need to just really sit with it and just give it time. Because like my artistic drawing abilities are definitely not there.
Well, it's a different drawing style.
Exactly. You know? But that's why I think I would like to learn it, because I feel like I would go back to like step one of the whole process. So it would be very cool to, I don't know, try something different. But I guess it ties in very well with, like, I could still do like the traditional designs that I like and all of that.
I definitely like that, and you do see like a bit of crossover with people who do traditional these days, and then they dabble a little bit in that like single needle traditional style, which would probably be like more sort of like old school prison style.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of customers getting both as well.
Heaps.
I also think, you know, that style, I guess like one of its qualities is you can get more involved tattoos, but they're not like, they're not super heavy.
No.
So definitely like when we were up in Sydney, not that they were getting like hectic designs or anything, but like you see a lot more of that. Like you see fuck all tattoos in Sydney compared to Melbourne on people.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, it was like when we were at the pool and stuff like that, it's like predominantly people had that. Not necessarily like fine line, little bits of script and shit like that, but like cherubs and roses and stuff, but they're done like single needle style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Or they're done like just fine line, quite simplified.
Yep.
Not super dark, like a lot more like grey wash shading and whatnot.
Well, yeah.
A little bit more subtle, I think.
Well, you're using a single needle, so.
No, but the ones, they're not all done with a single needle necessarily.
I always think that's funny. Like when we were up in Sydney, like particularly me and Cody, because we got more. Well, and Charles is pretty covered as well with tattoos.
Oh, this is a boost to their ego now.
Well, they are. You know, look at the photos.
Luke, you didn't get the call out. Go get more tattoos.
Luke actually got called out by the receptionist at the swimming pool.
Why?
Yeah, she ruined his trip.
Why?
Oh, it's because he got less tattoos than us.
That's so rude.
Yeah, well, I sort of think it's like funny because we joke about it, and Luke does want to get more covered in that. But it's like if you had a group of 4 people there, 3 of them had 6-packs and 1 was really fat, you wouldn't say something to the fat one, would you? No,
that's what I mean. You're not going to be like, "Oi, fatty, come here."
Yeah, it's like,
so why call him out for having less tattoos?
Why don't you have a 6-pack?
Yeah.
That's what she said to him. She's like, "Oh, you've got a lot of catching up to do." And
his heart just would have dropped.
Oh, he was real sad about it.
Oh.
So, but yeah, anyway, because of and I guess like we're staying in like Eastern Beaches, which is like probably like one of the less heavily tattooed areas.
It's
Sydney.
Very touristy.
Well, no, the tourists are the ones that have most of the tattoos. I would say like if you're going, and I love this area, so I'm not talking shit or anything, but you know,
I had to clarify.
The sort of like Eastern Beaches, which is like Bondi, Tamarama, Bronte, Coogee, they're like the akin to like in Melbourne, like Brighton, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you're rolling around there, you're not seeing many tats.
No.
Well, you're not seeing many at all, and you're definitely not seeing people with a lot of coverage.
No, you're not walking down like Brighton Main Street or like Church Street somewhere and seeing like someone with a full Japanese bodysuit or like face tats.
So lots of people come up to us when we're there.
Yeah.
And we're asking, like, they obviously think you're tattooers, and they ask.
You just get a lot of people in Sydney stare as well, like a lot of like double head turns because they don't see heavily tattooed people that often.
I always wonder,
especially in those suburbs.
There's lots of shops up there that do large scale work.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people travel to those shops to get it.
World-class large scale work, but I'm yet to see it really like in the flesh. Whereas like you come to Melbourne and you walk down, say, Chapel Street or something, and it's like every second person's got a sleeve, and there's like I'd be surprised if you didn't see someone with like lots of neck tats or something like that.
Yeah. I just think in general Melbourne has way more tattoos. Like it's not even like a debate.
No,
just
it's
does.
definitely not. Definitely not. And that's why I think Melbourne's like one of the best cities in the world for tattooing. And there's like lots of opportunities in Sydney. I think it'll get there, but I think
it's just a little bit behind. And that's not a bad thing.
But yeah, so what I was saying is like everyone who would come up to us and ask, it was mainly when we were at the swimming pool, which is a little bit awkward.
Is that because you had your Speedos on, Dal? Yes, it was.
Well, I think it's because they see the tats.
They see a
and
beautiful...
they come and ask and they go like, oh, do you guys tat? And you go, yeah, obviously
I
yes.
think it's because they see a beautiful sun-kissed, tattooed man in tidy whities and they go, I want to talk to him. Can we blame them? I can't.
No, I don't think it's that because they come talk to Cody.
You're a little bit awkward now.
Well...
Oh, you like it.
I don't like it. It's fucking weird. No, it's not. It's not weird. I was saying this to the guys because none of them wear Speedos. And I was saying like, I don't know where I sit in the world of like dick size.
Oh my God.
This has gone way off topic
here. Your mother
here.
listens to this and your grandmother.
It's not inappropriate.
Okay, well now we're talking about your dick.
I'm saying I don't know where I sit. I'm not saying it's big.
What do you want me to tell you? Is that what you're asking?
No, not on this. I don't want you to say on this. So Jack's out the back drawing and he's going, what the fuck? But anyway, I was saying to the guys, I reckon it is such a show of confidence, regardless, like especially if you don't have a massive dick, which I'm saying like none of us do, like way above average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as a guy to wear Speedos in public, I'm saying that's the power move that people respect.
Okay.
And
I just don't give a fuck about wearing Speedos because I'm like, if you put it into perspective for a woman, she wears bikinis at the beach. That's her most vulnerable because it's like you can see her boob size, you can see like if she's got big bum, like...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
So what's the difference?
No, I'm saying there's no difference, but guys don't typically wear them.
I know, because they're pussies.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying if you want to come across as a confident person...
Well, you are confident. You don't need to come across as it.
No, but it boosts your confidence doing it.
Well, it doesn't boost your confidence when you get out of the surf and I say, oi, babe, rearrange your stuff. Because it's like... It's been like ice cold in there and it's like clinging and I can like literally see everything and I have to be like, oi, fix it.
So you're saying vote against the Speedos?
No,
then?
I love the Speedos.
There you go. That's my point. That's my exact point.
But I don't love them because like any other reason than it's just like you're just comfortable in your own skin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying the confidence, it's a weird one because sometimes it makes you look really shit because you get heaps of shrinkage.
Yeah.
So it's weird that you wear it for confidence because sometimes...
No, but that's what I'm saying is the confidence is that...
You're just
like
happy
if you've got a massive dick, most dudes would be confident, you know, to wear to that because they go, oh, but
well,
if you don't,
I have something to say here. Yep. So, and they're probably going to kill me, but a friend of mine is sleeping with someone at the moment, and they have said that this person has a huge dong, like ginormous.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Good on ya. And apparently this person is very, very shy and gets really embarrassed about the size of it.
Bullshit.
Well, that's what I said. I said, surely if you had a huge dong, you would be like waving it around. But no, legitimately, they were like, oh, are you okay? Like, is this okay? Like very like...
I don't believe that for one second.
I don't believe it either. It's never happened to me.
I believe that's an act in the way that it's like, they know that it's like...
They're playing the victim.
No, they're not playing... I don't know if it's playing the victim, but it's like, they're sort of like, they know that 99% of men would be like stoked
jealous
to have that. And they're like, oh, like, no, I'm so embarrassed about it. And it's like, I don't know. I don't have one, so I can't really talk.
Well, you guys might find out one day.
Well, two blokes just walked into the shop.
Hal just brought up on the podcast the topic size of his penis.
No. I was using it as an example. But Bella's trying to tell me one of her friends is dating a guy who apparently has a massive dick.
And he's embarrassed
about it.
What, because is it at the point that...
We can't hear you. You're going to have to come closer to the mics.
Is it at the point that he doesn't get enough blood flow to it, that it doesn't work?
It's at the point where it can't go all the way in. I'm going to be in so much trouble.
What's your friend's name?
I am in so much trouble. I'm like red.
We're going to have to start another podcast, X-rated.
We are. Oh, do you know what? My favourite thing when I was growing up was Big Brother After Dark.
Oh, God.
I loved it.
Jesus.
Nah, you never got around it. It was so funny.
I never got around the reality TV shows.
I did, and I've spoken to a lot of customers, and they also loved Big Brother After Dark. That shit got loose.
They were very, very popular. I think, didn't they cancel it when two of the guys slapped a girl with their dick?
Yeah. No, I think it was only one guy. They cancelled it after she got turkey slapped.
Yeah.
Because she apparently wasn't like happy about it.
As you probably wouldn't be.
I don't know if she was asleep or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, do we think this is enough penis talk for one episode?
Well,
we can keep going.
The listeners will have to let us know.
Yeah. I just am very excited for every listener to sit there picturing Hal's penis now. And that was your doing, not mine. Well done.
Just picture it average in the middle.
Are you trying to get like a new lover or something?
No.
Yeah,
no.
maybe.
Do you think I have enough time for that, Bella?
No, you don't. You don't even have enough time for me.
No.
No, none.
Couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest.
Okay, so we love the Speedos.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, and you took this off topic massively, I was saying to the guys up there, if you want to boost your own confidence as a guy,
Wear Speedos.
Wear Speedos. Regardless of what body you have, what size you are down there, it's like, just rock them, and then people are like, fuck, that guy's confident. And I, when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, what the fuck, people are wearing Speedos. And now I'm like, mate, all fucking respect to them.
Okay,
so out there and wearing them.
A lot of guys that I know, not only do they not like Speedos because like you can obviously see the package and what you have to offer, but their issue is with the amount of hair that they have and the amount of grooming that they think is essential. So like a lot of guys get really uncomfortable by like their hairy bums. And when you're wearing Speedos, you can see like the hair from your leg to your bum and you can see how much is there. Cody. I think that's a fair point.
That's definitely a fair point.
So your best friend, Ariel, and yes,
Yeah.
I've called you out here, so now you have to listen to this episode.
I don't think he listens to them anyway.
Well, he's going to because I'm going to link it to him and his wife.
Yeah.
He has like an amazing body. He's like super fit,
Jeez.
always like...
Imagine if I spoke about your friends like this.
You do speak about my friends like this.
Definitely don't.
Yes, you do.
No way.
Well,
anyway, keep going. He does have a good body.
Hal talks about his body all the time. And he hates how hairy he is. So he's quite blonde.
He's
and
not
got
hairy
like,
at all.
He's not, but he's got like the blonde body hairs. And
Yeah.
I remember one day he came over and he'd like fully shaved or waxed all of his arms and then like tried to do his chest. And you just looked at him like, mate, what the fuck have you done?
He shaves. He was at the point like shaving only like his bicep hair.
So was it the forearm that he had?
No, he left the forearm.
Yeah.
But then he was shaving the biceps. It was a weird
So it was just like a perfect line.
And Amy was like, yeah, he doesn't like the bicep hair. I was like, he's not even hairy.
He's not at all.
Maybe that's my thing is like I'm consistently hairy, so it doesn't change.
But also I think with you, because you are heavily tattooed, you can't necessarily tell about the hair. But whereas when you don't have tattoos, people look at the hair.
Yeah. Well, I think, for me, and this is so stupid and so vain, but because I've got consistent tattoo coverage across all of those areas, I actually feel like really comfortable wearing the Speedos. But for a lot of guys, it's like that Speedo area they never get it tattooed.
Exactly.
So even if you've got a full front, full back,
you don't have
most of your
right
legs,
up to wear like your undies
if you're
or
wearing
betas
Speedos,
go.
it looks like you've got like a skin underpants on.
Yeah. Well, do you know, for me, so if I wear a specific cut in bather bottom, so my first ever tattoo is the 4 on my hip.
Yep.
And which Hal was with me when I got. And if I wear a specific cut of bathers from a slight distance, it looks like I have a massive bush coming out from my hip. And it is so unfortunate. And
You could fix that easily though by getting more tattoos around that area.
I know, but
and
it
wouldn't
hurts.
look like that. Yeah, that is true.
So there you go.
Right.
Some people might not want to wear Speedos, not just because of their willy size, because of many other factors.
No, but I'm just saying ultimately it doesn't matter. You could have a bad rig, be hairy, not hairy, whatever you think is not good looking, and you rock them. People are, I'm crediting you with the confidence.
I would go to the beach in a Borat's fucking bikini, whatever it is, with the like straps over your shoulders.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
I don't think you would.
I 100% would.
I don't
Buy
think
one and
you
I'll do
would.
it.
I don't want to see that.
Nah, I just feel like we don't have
Yeah.
much shame.
No, all right. Well, we'll move on from that because the question was, what tattoo style would you do if you weren't doing traditional?
Hey, you brought up your penis.
It went well off topic.
Well, we started talking about Sydney tattoos. Anyway, you heard it.
Yeah.
You lived it.
I wanted to ask, do you have any tattoos coming up that are like really you're looking forward to? Not and disclaimer, you look forward to all the tattoos you get to do.
I do.
Blah, 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 but just one that stands out.
I started another Battle Royale back piece.
Yep, you did.
And I'm really excited to finish the two that I have on the go at the moment. They're both Battle Royale. They're both black and grey. But yeah, I just really want them both to be one. I've probably only got one more session to go. And then the other one, we've only just done the outline.
Yeah.
So to start the shading on that. And he's got like a big back.
Yeah, well, I know that because I was looking forward to doing that Battle Royale back piece until he got it
Brenton,
from
you put me in the doghouse for this. Thanks so much.
I don't mind ultimately because he's getting it, you know. I actually don't care. But I actually did think he was asking me to send through photos and all of that. And then you were
was
like,
he?
Yeah, I sent them
Well,
all
normally
through.
I do your DMs. I didn't even see that.
And then
Is he fighting over us?
Well, I think he chose you. Maybe he didn't like what he saw in the Speedo photos.
Oh,
And he's like,
that's got to be it.
I'm not getting a back piece.
Maybe
of this
he
bloke.
thought that your willy was way bigger than his, and he felt that you were obviously the superior man.
Well, if he thought that, then he's struggling down there because I'm not. I don't have much to offer.
Oh, he's going to be mad at us.
No, all right, that's a good.
What about your tattoos that you're excited?
What have I got coming up? Fuck, I've got a full mental blank. I've done some tattoos recently that I really liked. I tattooed up when I was up in Sydney on a good customer of ours, Blake.
I love how you say ours. I think I've done 2 tattoos on him.
Well, you've tattooed him. He's a customer of yours.
Okay, I'll take it.
He sort of was very much like, oh, what do you want to tattoo? So I recently redrew a few designs out of my first ever flash book.
Sorry, Blake is the one who you've posted a lot about, and you did 3-day sessions in a row. You've done like a TikTok video and all of that about.
You would have seen him. We got the 2
Bit of
sleeves done
reference.
essentially in 3 days, and
Yep.
you did the butterfly on his chest and stuff.
Yep.
But we were doing his legs up in Sydney, and
What has he got on his legs so far?
he already had a bunch of other stuff, but he just wanted to fill all the spaces and stuff. But they were still pretty decent spaces, like pretty big. And I recently redrew a bunch of stuff out of my original flash book.
Original.
Yeah, the one that had 350 pages.
Wow,
Should I have that
okay,
one?
the big one.
Yeah, which no one, like people only picked ever like
Good
the same.
morning, Mitch.
Hello,
Say
Mitch.
hello, podcast.
Yeah, welcome. Your first time. Say something into the mic.
Hello,
Come on.
podcasters.
There we go. Mitch's debut. Yeah, so anyway, people would only pick like the same 10 designs, and there was like 500 designs in there.
Yeah, I know
And-
because during my apprenticeship, I had to sit there and like retrace all of them.
So I ended up recently, I was just like wanted to put some new stuff out there and couldn't think of anything. So I just redrew some of the stuff in there that I always wanted to tattoo, but never got the opportunity. And I guess they would be like more, I would say like odd designs. You know, I think the one we tattooed in Sydney was like an eagle head on top of a skull that had wings with an eagle claw coming out of the bottom of the skull that was sitting on top of another skull.
Yep.
And yeah, so that was like, that's actually, and then we ended up at the end of the day doing like flames all around it into the other gaps
Yeah, I
and stuff like
saw
that. And I was looking at it going like, when people ask me like, oh, what do you want to tattoo? It's like, that's probably like the stuff, if I had my ultimate freedom, would pick stuff like that. So it's all traditional and all that, but yeah, maybe a bit more unique designs and...
I'm sorry, I'm staring at Hal just laughing at him.
Why?
Because the view that I've got of you is you with like your tiny little shorts on. And I'm going to post this on my story and just show everyone the confidence that you have. Because I love it.
I don't know.
No, this is cute.
I'm not
Look at the photo.
necessarily feeling... Oh, fuck's sake.
It looks very funny.
I've been known to wear some really, really questionable things in my lifetime, but
I second that.
The issue I always have with the shorts is because I've got thick legs.
You do not have thick legs. You have larger, not large, but like your thighs are very masculine and
So
solid.
they're thick. They're thick.
But they're not that thick.
No, but they are for sizing.
We are the same size in pants. So you're saying that I have thick thighs, which is true, I do.
You don't wear
This is from water polo.
the shorts though. So the issue I always have is
When you sit down, they
when I
ride
sit
up.
down, they ride up and they don't come back down. So then it looks like I'm wearing fucking underpants.
Yeah, so
when
all
I'm
I'm
sitting
seeing
down.
is like underpants with like
Yeah.
a camel toe. But it's cute.
Oh, God.
Anyway, back to your talk.
Nah, that's done.
I've killed it.
We're going to have to take some time and reassess where this podcast is going in the future.
This is getting naughty, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's what the people want to hear.
I guess we're going to find out.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, those reviews will start going very negative.
Yeah, like, oh, wow, you really had no idea what you're doing on this one.
Yep. Nah, that's all right. But anyway, yeah, I reckon we'll call it there. We're going to put out in the next few days.
A few questions. And
Yeah, like another, like, you know, what questions you want to hear. I think the podcast is getting a bit more traction, and
we are getting sent, like, each week more questions to, like, answer on here and whatnot.
yeah. So I think at some point, like we've got someone coming on next week, which will be good. You know, interesting stories and interesting things they're doing in their tattoo career. That'll be good to hear about, and one of the artists here. So that's next week. But yeah, I think maybe the week after we'll do one about, maybe just more about the questions. You know, quick fire, not so elongated answers and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll put that out on the socials. This will be coming out on Monday at 6 a.m.
We've committed to every Monday, 6 a.m. new episode drop.
Yep. So
Put your alarms on.
yeah, keep listening on whatever platform you've been listening on, and let us know what you think.
If you hate it, tell us. If you love it, also please tell us.
Yeah, if you love it, I would rather you tell me that. But
Hal obviously needs more of a confidence boost, so give it to him.
yeah, but yeah, thank you for listening to another episode, and
Like, subscribe, follow.
yep, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks for coming along.
This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia.